Hello! I am so happy to be seeing you on this video for a different reason than any other video I've ever done. I am going to show you how to use the Fairy Faves eye makeup bundle that is available on Nebo now. And I love watching makeup tutorials. That is how I have learned so many of the things that I've learned about how to do my own makeup. And I just really wanted to give you some instruction on how to make the most out of what you're gonna buy in the Nebo with this Fairy Fave set. So I really believe in having the right tools, and I'm trying to get that to you a little bit at a time. So I don't want you to feel like you have to go out and buy the brushes that I'm going to show you today, and mine are not anything special. Many of them I've had for years and years, but I am gonna go ahead and show you the kind they are, just in case you do wanna go purchase some. You can get the MAC ones. Those are kind of expensive, but super nice and literally last a lifetime because of the kind of hair that they are. Or nowadays, Ulta carries a ton of options of brushes, and I really love the IT Cosmetics brushes. So they have a lot of options. So what I'm gonna show you is just the gist of the type of brush you need to create the looks. And on this tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 different looks using your Naked Basics palette, because I really want you to know that even though it's pretty basic, you can actually create multiple types of looks. Every look you could ever need or want, you can get with this little baby. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the eyebrows, because when I did the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil at the Fairy Friday, I did a super short one on Instagram that you could see, but it really wasn't very helpful. So I'm hoping this one will be a lot more helpful. So I've already done this brow, so you can see the finished product, but now I'm gonna show you on the other brow. So first I take the brush and I go ahead and comb out the hair so it gets going in the right direction. And then I'm gonna show you 2 different ways you can do brows, because it just depends on your preference. If you don't want to have to spend a lot of time and you don't want a super precise, clean, arched brow and you just want it to look natural, here's what you do. You pull up the arch and you just start filling in the hairs. And there's no rhyme or reason about it. You just wanna fill in the hairs over here. And then you wanna make sure you get that corner, so you kinda go underneath and then you wanna go straight up. You're creating almost a corner. And remember, you can use the brush at the end to kind of blend everything out, because sometimes it can look too dark in places. And when you get to the arch, just go right over the arch and pull down. Right over the arch and pull down. You wanna do that several times. Don't try to be perfect. There you go. And then you just brush it out real good. Okay, there. That's just a natural, no fuss brow where you actually get the fill in that you need so that you get the shape and the overall look that you need for your eyes, but not going too far. Now I'm going to show you how to go a little bit further. It takes a little bit more time. I probably spend more time on my eyebrows than anything else in my makeup routine, but it's that important to me and it makes a huge difference. And like I've told you before, people stop me all the time, and I really think it's because of this pencil and this routine that I do. So I go ahead and do the normal fill in like I just showed you, but then lift up the arch. You wanna make an actual line underneath this whole entire thing. And you don't want it to be short, soft strokes. You want a precise, hard line underneath. Then you start filling in. Then you're gonna get precise on the top of the brow. So you're gonna do a little bit harder, push down a little harder over the top. And instead of just flicking it down like we did with the natural, because you didn't want a real precise line, you're actually gonna push down when you curve around and come down. So on this routine, you're actually spending time carving out the bottom and the top instead of just the middle. And then we brush. I think I need to make my tail slightly longer. There we go, and you can just play with it. Like, I don't love my arch, so I'm going to exaggerate my arch a little bit better. Okay, and then the reason why I put the highbrow pencil in here is because right after you do your brows, before you do anything else, you're gonna take this and you're gonna go right underneath. I always pull up the arch. I just feel like it helps me get a little cleaner lines. And you're just gonna go directly, and it comes off literally like a white crayon, and you're gonna be like, whoa. But what it's doing is it's hiding those little fine hairs that you haven't plucked and making everything look really clean and precise. You're gonna blend it out, and it's okay if it gets on your eyelid. So there's phase 1 eyebrows. Okay, so the first look I've already done on one eye. Do I look weird? I don't know, do I look weird? So this was a super fast, I do this a lot just for day to day because it's just 3 quick steps. So I've got my eyebrow on, I've got my highbrow pencil underneath, and then one thing that's optional, this is not included in the Fairy Faves set, but I do this every day, is I put a primer on my eyelid. This one that I'm using here is called Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and you can get it at Ulta, but you don't have to use a specific primer if you don't want to spend the money. You can use concealer, you can even just use the leftover foundation on your foundation brush when you're doing your face makeup, but just something to set on top of the eyelid skin and as a foundation for the shadows that you're about to put on, because it, number one, it makes the pigments of the colors look way better. It goes on easier and smoother and blends better, and then it lasts way longer. So there is very good reason to put on a primer of some sort, even if it's just concealer or foundation. But if you want a primer, they're all over the place. Every brand has them, you just gotta look for them. But like I said, this one is Too Faced Shadow Insurance. All right, now I'm going to get into my Naked Basics palette. I'm going to start with this brush. This is just like a little flat, small eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to use the color Foxy, which is the second one from the left in the palette. And I'm going to lift up the arch and just go right underneath the brow where I had put the highbrow, and I just put it on there real quick. And it's just gonna set that all up and give it a natural highlight right underneath the brow. Now I'm going to use my favorite brush of all times. This is the MAC 224. I've literally had this for over 10 years, but it's any fluffy crease brush will work. You want the fluffy, you don't want it to be tight, because the point of this is to put the eyeshadow on there, and then when you're putting it on, it just blends really well. It doesn't deposit all the color real fast in one spot. It blends it out. So I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna use the color Naked 2, which is just a really natural nude color. It looks pretty plain in the palette, but because of the shade that it is, even no matter what skin color you are, it's just going to give that natural contouring shadowing. And while I'm talking about this, let me just say, the reason why I love colors that are like this, and I love playing with color sometimes for special events, but for day-to-day, neutral colors are the prettiest and the most complimentary to you, no matter what color your eyes are or what color your skin is, because it's just enhancing what you already have. When you use a lot of heavy, bold colors in your eyeshadow or your makeup, it really just takes away from your natural beauty. It's a distraction. People are seeing your makeup, they're not seeing you. So the purpose of makeup and makeup done well is to just enhance what you already have, not change the way you look. Okay, so I'm gonna get off my soapbox and get back to showing you how to use this Naked 2 color with the fluffy brush. So all you're gonna do is the windshield wiper method, and you don't have to do it perfect. You literally just go back and forth, and that's why it's so important to have the right brush. The other thing I do is I just do circular motions over in the corner. Don't be worried about it being perfect. This brush does the work for you. So I do the corner, back and forth. I do the corner, back and forth. Sometimes I add a little bit more just to get the right effect, but I don't think I need to. There we go. Now I'm gonna take this brush, which is just a flat brush, but it's got a little bit of give. Ooh, look at all that shadow coming off. And it's a little bit wider than the one I used at first because we're gonna use it on our lid. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to dip it in the WOS. And I'm gonna get a good bit on there. And then I'm just going to tap it on the lid. That's it. Now I'm gonna take my brown L'Oreal Smoldering Eyeliner, and I'm just going to very quickly go right on the lash line. I'm not gonna do a lot because this is a very natural look. it up. I did it a little bit heavier. And I'm gonna do my mascara, which is not included in the Fairy Faves, but I do want you to know that I'm using my favorite mascara ever. Yes, you heard me, ever. It is the It Cosmetics Superhero. I had it in the Nebo boutique along with some other It Cosmetics in a bundle. A month or two ago. I am completely obsessed with it. It is by far the best mascara that I've ever used. So any mascara you have will do. And that is your final step. So here is your look number one. That literally takes me probably about 3 minutes whenever I do this look, and I still feel like everything looks really nice and pulled together and perfect for the natural everyday look. All right, so let's move on to look number two. As you can tell, I have done it over here. So this is still a great day look or a night look. And this is just for the ladies that don't mind taking maybe 1 extra minute, 1 extra step to advance the look and take it to the next level. Just a slightly more dramatic, slightly more shadowing to really make your eyes pop. This is the look that I use whenever I'm going to work, whenever I have anywhere to go during the day, and at night. So I'm excited to show you this because you're gonna be shocked at how quick you can actually take the first look and build on it and go to the second look like that, but I think it's a pretty big payoff. So this brush is super important, and there are lots of different brands, like I said, that have them, but this is kind of a dome-shaped, short-haired brush. And the reason why this is important is because you want the hairs of this one to be a little bit tighter. This is not a fluffy brush, this is a tighter brush because you want it to deposit the color where you're putting it. You don't want it to spread out or blend. So it is a dome, tight, short, firm brush. And a lot of times it's called a corner crease or something like that. But if you just look at this really good and then go to Ulta and find one that's shaped like this, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna take this brush and now I'm going to use the color Faint. And I'm just going to roll it around, and then I always tap it to get the excess off. And then I'm going to go to the corner, only the corner, and I'm just gonna roll it around. And then I'm gonna go do the windshield wiper just a little bit, not even halfway, and then roll it around in the corner and bring it down. That's it. And then I'm also going to go back with the Faint, tap the excess off, and I'm going to go underneath the lower lashes to give it a slightly smoky look. Then I'm going to take the fluffy crease brush that I already used. I'm not even gonna put any eyeshadow on it. And I'm just gonna go right over the top of that I just did to blend it out. And then I'm going to, and this is optional, but I do this just like I really like the way that it looks. I'm going to use this, I'm gonna pull this down, I'm gonna put it in the waterline. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to build with that WOS color again, just to make sure that it really pops, and I'm gonna get it a little bit in the tear duct. I'm done. So that is look number two. Okay, so we are going to move on to our last look, and that is look number three. And I have done it over here in this eye. So this is definitely like a more dramatic whenever you're going somewhere, a date, a party, a wedding, whatever, the meeting, for dinner. So I really am excited to empower you that a smoky eye is not just for the professionals to do, that you can do it, and that actually it's not really that hard, but it will just take you a few extra steps and a few extra minutes. So I'm going to go back with this brush, which is that short dome shaped brush, and you will want to go ahead and do look two. So you build the look first, and so many times you do this look when you're going somewhere at night, so you're really just building on the eye you had already done and worn all day, and then you just build on top of that. You certainly don't need to start over. But if you are starting with a clean slate, you need to do all the steps I've showed you so far and then move on to this. So you're gonna take this brush and you're gonna dip it in the black color, which is called Crave, and you're just going to pat. You don't wanna like really roll it around because you don't want a ton of shadow on there. And then you're gonna tap it off, And then you're gonna go in your corner and you're just gonna start rolling around a little bit at a time. You wanna build this. Then you're gonna go just a little bit into the crease and start moving it to the center. And so the reason why you do it like this is because you want the most amount of product from this black color to be in the corner, and then as you move towards the center, it's blending out and it's getting a little bit lighter. So this part does take just a little bit of time because you're just working it all the way on, because you're gonna basically cover the entire lid with this black color. So you may have to dip a little bit more. Don't forget to tap off the excess so it doesn't fall down onto your cheeks and mess up your face makeup. And so it kind of looks messy, I'm not gonna lie, whenever you're doing it at first, but we're gonna blend everything together. You really wanna get on the lash line. Just gonna make your eyelashes look fuller and longer, more dramatic. So it doesn't have to be perfect, that's not the point. And keep going back to the corner, rolling it around. And then I'm actually going to take some more of the black color and I'm gonna go pretty strong on the underneath, because the underneath is really important. To have that black smoked out underneath really gives the wow factor. Okay, so when you're happy with it, and it's still like, if I stopped here, it would look really bad. But I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna go back to my fluffy brush, and I'm going to use the faint color, which we used for the crease before, and I'm going to go over the top to blend out. Just back and forth, windshield wipers, back and forth. And then sometimes I curl it around because I just want everything to be blended. You don't ever want to see like the line where one color starts and one color stops. Everything should be blended out together. And you really want to, what they call in the makeup world, blow out this side part. And then I'm going to take that very first brush that I used, the really small flat brush, and I'm going to take the color Venus, which we have not used yet. This is the only color in the palette that has a little bit of shimmer to it. I really like it, but I don't like a lot of shimmer at this age in my life. And so I'm going to just go right into the tear duct, because that just really makes everything pop. And then I'm going to put just a tiny bit right underneath the crease. Now I'm going to give it a look. Now, this is totally optional as well, but when I do a smoky eye, I really like to add a black eyeliner on the top, and I just use a cheap drugstore liquid liner. That's what I like. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just use a pencil liner. You can use whatever you want, or you can skip this step entirely if you don't want to do that, but I just think it makes everything come together. Nothing too fancy. If you are wanting to know what I used Maybelline Master Precise. I've tried a lot of these. I pretty much like them all, but I like the finer tip. Seems to be easier to use, but I just really like the liquid eyeliner. And I'm not doing a wing or anything too hard. Now, here is a trick. I do this every single day, but especially whenever I'm doing smoky eye. I take concealer, and here's my concealer brush, and I'm using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, which has been in the Nebo boutique before. You can also get this at Ulta if you want. Any concealer you have will do. Quick tip, you need to not be afraid of light concealer, because if you know how to do it right, it's not gonna make you look like a clown or like you have raccoon eyes or anything. So you always wanna gravitate towards a lighter color. This is the color Light. By the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Corrector. So I'm just gonna go right underneath, because this is what cleans everything up, because a lot of times your eyeshadow falls, or it may have gravitated too far over, so you're just gonna go right underneath the eyeliner and the eyelashes, and then right up that angled side, just to clean everything up. And then I just blend it all down. And then I'm just gonna smooth some powder over it. Add a little more mascara. to finish off this smoky eye look. And again, I'm not for over-the-top makeup, but I really love makeup, and I think that makeup done well is really just to make what you already have look even better. It's not supposed to change you. So I hope you have enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I hope it has been helpful. Remember that your Fairy Faves includes the Naked Basics eyeshadow palette, the highbrow pencil that you use for right underneath the brow, the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Eyebrow Pencil so that we get those fabulous brows, and the brown L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner. The other things that I used are not included in the kit. I just want to make sure you are not confused. So the black eyeliner I used is not included, the mascara I used is not included, the concealer is not included, and the eyeshadow primer is not included. But all of these things I will put in the link down below so that you know exactly what to go get if you want to copy this exactly. Otherwise, just do the best with what you got. I would love for you to send me pictures or put on Instagram and hashtag Nebo Fairy Makeup. Love you ladies. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.